One thing I had in my dashboard was don't make the same mistake twice, and it's a pretty funny thing. I think when I showed this to my family, they're like, "You're a masochist for sure." Like, there's no way you're happy to see all these things like just surface. But essentially, what it is that every single day I kind of report to myself like, what are things I did wrong today, right? What are maybe like 3 to 5 things I did wrong, and what are things that I would like to and it's important that I think about that because then I can only start thinking about things I can do right. But my thing is that for me, when I write those things down, I will surface them in my dashboard so that I don't forget that those are the things I did wrong. So because I look at it like at least twice a day, I'm like, oh damn, I did that wrong. Okay, this week I definitely shouldn't do that anymore. But one thing that I did was that, well, it started getting big, right? It started becoming like bigger and bigger. If I'm adding 5 things a day, then a week becomes 35 things. So I need to start filtering, right? So I was like, okay, so what should I filter by? Well, I don't have a date created property. Maybe I should have one of those, right? So I'm like, okay, well, let me add a date created property in because Notion already has something very nice about that. I have a created time, right? And I can call it date created. Now that I have a date created property, I can say, well, I want to filter by date created, and I want to say is on or after last week. So 1 week ago. So now I can see only things that I did wrong up to last week, which is important because you don't want to see things too much. But another thing is that the whole idea of this is that I don't want to make the same mistake twice. Okay, so what does it mean to make something twice? So then I started thinking about it. I was like, okay, well, maybe I just want to add a small improvement here. And this is also very easy to do. And so I'm just trying to show you my process because it doesn't take that much time and it becomes very intuitive, at least for me, when I'm working through all this. So for example, now, let me just open this up. So don't make the same mistake twice is a relational database here, right? And let's say I add one more here. So now there's 2 items that are currently, I've made the same mistake twice, for example, right? So let me open this up and I'll see that this is the bigger database. Sorry, 1 second. But here. And you'll see that I have this, right? And for dates, you see that there's 2 dates here that now have this. So I'll just add a roll-up here. I'll add a roll-up and I'll say, based on the date, I want to count values, or count all, let's just say. So I now see number of times. So basically, I made this mistake twice. Now, here comes the fun part, right? I want to show things I've made the same mistake twice all the time. So I remember not to make it 3 times.
Wow,
So
yeah.
if I go to dashboard, right? Now I can say, hey, I want to filter or things number of times is equal to or greater than 2. Now I see that surfaced.
That's awesome.
Right. So that's the whole idea behind that. Like, I think it's very intuitive once you start thinking about things. And I mean, this kind of improvement took me, what, 5 minutes? Not even, right? And I did it live. And I think it's something everyone can try doing by themselves too.